Hey, y'all, it's Orlando. We just want to let you know that the views and opinions expressed during this podcast episode are those of the co-hosts and guests and not their sponsoring institutions. Now, let's start the show. Hello, Detroit and the world. Welcome to a very special NFL Draft Week episode of Authentically Detroit, broadcasting live from the Cass Corridor at the WDET studios. We are a content partner to BridgeDetroit.com. I am Orlando Bailey.
And I'm Donna Givens-Davidson.
We want to thank you for listening in and supporting our efforts to build a platform of authentic voices for real people in the city of Detroit. I was getting ready to say on the east side, but I forgot Charity is here.
But come on now.
In the city of Detroit. We want you to like, rate, and subscribe to our podcast on all platforms. This episode is two-part. We will begin with an interview with the president, CEO, and founder of the Michigan Black Business Alliance. And then the second part, we will be sitting down with former NFL player, current host of the Pivot podcast, Channing Crowder. But Charity, welcome back to Authentically Detroit.
So happy to be here.
It's draft week, Charity Dean.
We're up, though.
And you are all decked out with your draft memorabilia. You got a little bomber jacket that don't nobody else got. You got on your Honolulu blue. I don't know if I said it right.
You did.
How you doing?
I'm great.
You are?
I'm excited. I am so excited.
So you guys at the Business Alliance are curating probably one of the most black spaces in the draft experience.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So I'm going to talk about Recess, which is on the corner of Fort and Shelby. So it was vacant. It's been vacant for like 3 years. But now we've got 4 black businesses in there. It's a food hall. So we've got Pequeño from Livernois. There's a jerk chicken spot. There's wings and something, a barbecue.
Yeah.
And a bar, drinks, DJs all weekend. So super excited. And a portion of the proceeds of Recess go to the Black Business Alliance.
I
So
saw
it's a fundraiser.
Kaiwan post like, hey, tell your people at work that you're working
for
remote,
Recess.
working for Recess. But I'm like, anytime there is a spot where day drinking can take place, I think that is very enticing. You know, I've made up a little song.
He did make up a song, Donna.
Day drinking and I'm thinking of you. Day drinking and I'm thinking
Thinking
of
of
you.
you.
Hey,
Although,
hey.
okay, that's not like Jill Scott did that with.
Oh, she did.
With what's his name? Oh my goodness!
I don't
You
know
can
who.
think it's a rapper. Is she?
Common?
No,
No.
I'm gonna look it
Talib?
up. Well, no, it's none of them.
Who would collab
It's-
with Jill Scott that's a rapper? I
she
feel
has
like
a
it's one of those
whole-
like...
She has a
know.
whole album called
The Roots.
Collaborations. And I'm going to tell you who it is. But yes, I'm so excited. I was like, you know what, Orlando? I want to day drink and I want to party too. But I'm
Period.
not sure I'll get any work done.
Right. That's why I did put an emoji on the Kai's face. I was like, I hope the staff of Michigan Black Business Alliance don't take this.
Well, you guys have been working hard.
Yeah.
So first of all, you all have been on the community planning committee for the draft. And when I
over a
say
year.
you all, Charity, and we really have to give a mad shout out to Kaiwan.
Kaiwan
Because-
Davius Bowman.
Yeah. Ooh, he's not going to be happy that you inserted his middle name. So, tell us a little bit about that process and, tell us about how hard you and Kai have been working.
Yeah, so we got invited to the local organizing committee, community committee, probably over a year ago. And they were talking about ways in which you were involved in the committee, and then that turned into the small business committee. And really, Kai took over and was really our representative on that committee. And what was important to us was that we were proactive to make sure that our members got opportunity for the draft. We saw what happened in Kansas City last year with the draft, and we wanted to make sure Detroit...
With the Super Bowl.
With the
Or
draft.
with the draft.
Yeah.
What happened in Kansas
Was
City?
it was in Kansas City.
It was in
last
Kansas
year.
City, yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
they,
my bad. My
they
bad.
had it was just some of the feedback in some of the local media there was that they wanted more small business participation.
Gotcha.
Well, Kansas City is not Detroit.
Yeah, that's exactly
in
right.
Detroit, you make sure in whatever you do that Detroit is represented
Absolutely.
as Detroit. So,
That's right.
I remember you had the event last year and we all came in. You said, we're your jeans or something like
Oh,
that.
the Black Wealth Summit. Come as you are.
Come as you are. No, you actually told people to dress down, and I dressed down. I walked up and you had on the pearls and a blazer, and I was like, you know what, Charity,
but I had on gym shoes and jeans.
You did.
She had us all in our
but
Jordans.
I'm just trying
it
to
was
say,
a fun time.
it was a lot of fun.
Yes.
But I think the significance of that is you are encouraging people to not have to assimilate into a different style in order to be who we are. And I really appreciate that about this. And so to have it be there, and you have this way of getting into spaces other people don't get into, and sometimes I'm not even sure other people should get into, but you're there and you make sure that we're present in those spaces. So can you tell us, what is Recess?
Yeah, so Recess is a food hall. It's just a pop-up. So it's only going to be here
It's
until
tactical.
Saturday.
It's not permanent.
It is not permanent.
Detroiters deserve nice things.
Oh, don't you preaching to the choir, Orlando?
Yeah, well, you know. But is it indoors?
It's indoors. It's indoor. It's a 40-foot bar. 4 Black-owned restaurants. They're open at noon every day, closed at 2 a.m., a variety of DJs. Last night, the Black Business Alliance had our spring mixer there, so we kind of kicked it off, opened it up. We had karaoke last night. It was a good time. But it's really it's an authentically Black space right outside the footprint
An
of the
authentically
drag.
Detroit Black space.
Authentically Detroit Black space.
Yes.
But it's not even just that, right? So you got Recess, and we're excited about that. But our members
are vendors everywhere.
Vendors of the NFL.
Talk about that.
Yes, absolutely. So we have members that are vendors. So if you go down to Hart Plaza where the food spaces are, I don't know if I'm getting the number correct. There's probably 25 food spaces.
And Portia Powell is one of them.
Portia Powell is one of them.
Good Vibes Lounge.
14 or 15 of the 25 are Black business owners.
Wow.
That's amazing.
In Hart Plaza. Yes. And
that don't happen
as
without
it
you guys
should
at
be.
the
No,
table.
we
That doesn't
have-
happen.
As it should be.
As
I
it
mean,
should
you don't
be.
have 14 or 25 Black anything downtown most of the
Right,
time.
no, them numbers are good. The numbers are...
So, yeah, you just
Let me stop hitting. I'm never this close to Donna. And she
you keep
preach.
hitting her.
I keep hitting her. We're in a different studio, so I can hit her when she be making the points because
But
it was good.
it takes intentionality. It takes us saying to the NFL, what are your criteria ahead of time? It's kind of like we do our Capital Connect program. I tell you that all the time. We ask lenders, give us your criteria, and then we'll prepare people. So, and with working with the NFL, well, what are the criteria? How are you going to select? Let us know that a year in advance. Well, they have to be certified. So what do? We went to the city of Detroit and said, okay, we need to certify these Black businesses. And guess what? Black Business Alliance, we're going to pay for it. We're going to pay for their certification so that there's not a barrier for them. But it wasn't just us. Visit Detroit were amazing partners. They underwrote the vendor fee for all of the small businesses, all 25 of them there, because it's a $2,000 fee. And Visit Detroit did that so that small businesses didn't have to come out of their pocket, and they get 100% of their proceeds.
You know, I met the head of Visit Detroit. What's his name?
Oh, Claude.
Claude. I think I was
Yeah.
on a panel with him last year.
Yeah.
Really liked him.
Great guy.
Seemed to be really
I
willing
did a
to...
PSA with him. We were in a commercial together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, the fact that he is over Visit Detroit and he
Yes.
understands the significance of our history
Yes.
because, you know, if I'm going to be on a panel with you, we had to do some planning.
Yep.
It was like, okay, let's have some conversations about
Before we
Detroit
do
because
this.
we're not going to rewrite our history.
Yep.
And so I'm glad to see that he is collaborating with you
Excellent.
and really
I
showing
mean, they were
the
great.
kind of leadership. Yeah.
But not even so. Those are vendors. But then we have members that are behind the scenes. They got contracts with the NFL. So, for example, who's feeding the NFL staff, right? Who's doing the laundry? We got a lot of our members that are doing those NFL direct contracts with the NFL for the draft. So we're catching every data point. So we're going to do a report at the end to see how much money our members got out of this opportunity.
You also get to take the stage at the NFL draft.
I do.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I am probably the one that knows the least about football here, but we are going to make a pick. It's going to be us and some of our partners. I think I don't want to say that.
Orlando.
We're going to announce a pick for, I think it's the New Orleans Saints. So it's not, because Detroit doesn't have that many picks. And, you know, we can't compete with like Big Sean and Eminem. They're going to make picks. But, But
and Big Sean has a concert tonight, right?
He does, 6
Where?
o'clock. 6 o'clock at the, in the Footprint.
In the Footprint?
Yeah, which is Campus Marshes.
Okay.
But 6 o'clock.
That's going to be nuts.
It's going to be insane.
So now we are on Wayne State's campus.
Yes, we are.
And as you speak, and I'm thinking about going towards this event, obviously I'm not going to drive.
Okay.
So how do I get there?
Yeah.
Ooh, so they have parking rides, right? And there's a map. If you go online, I mean,
NFL One Pass.
Download
the NFL One Pass, and it will tell you where you can park for free.
Yep.
And the public transportation that can get you downtown. I want to say this to Detroiters. I want to say this to Detroiters. Suspend your expectation of being able to park up 5 seconds away from where you're trying to go. It ain't going to happen this weekend.
Well, the challenge for me is not that I have that expectation. The challenge for me is it seems like it's so difficult that I just don't want to be bothered. And I
you
know
can park at my crib and walk over.
Well, there you have it. But I'm actually driving an electric vehicle today. Can I get that in a little bit?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So let's talk about it. So ECN went viral yesterday because of why? Why?
We have an electric vehicle car share. This is one of those things where.
That's amazing. Nonprofit organization.
What can I say? God is good. Okay?
Yes, all
so
the
let me
time.
talk about this for a minute. In 2000,
you hear that, Candace Owens? That's how you're supposed to respond to it. Say it again. You say
God is good
all the time.
And all the time.
God is good
all the time. Now I know.
Stay focused.
I'm not in church, but I would have gotten that one correct. Okay. But what I was thinking about is when a couple years ago, when Stellantis announced they were going to expand, and they asked us for a list of community benefits. Top on my list was a vehicle car share on the east side of Detroit.
Oh, that was a part
and
of
so that was it was never even considered. Nobody took it seriously, but sometimes you got to put things out there so blessings can come forward. So I put that out there years ago. And so we have been leaning into spaces, just doing things, right? We started the Stoudemire Wellness Hub without a grant to do it. We just did it because we thought it was necessary. We got more into climate equity because the more we learned about it, and actually Stellantis and the pollution that we experienced actually pushed us more fully into that space. And all of those things converged so that we are at the table in conversations where they're talking about vehicle electrification, and they wanted to put electric vehicles in public housing in Detroit. And so we had people at the table who said, you know what, why don't you bring them to the Stoudemire?
Yes.
And we're able to make the case. And so it's the first time it's here.
So how does it work?
Oh, so you enroll in, it's Michigan, it's MDO, MDO car share. You download an app, it's on the Apple Store or on Google Play, and you enroll. It's $10 to enroll. It takes about a week for them to check your driver's license after that $10 payment. And then you can just schedule on your app. You can book it at our site. There's another site that's on Jefferson, and
on the east side.
On the east side, so two on the east side,
awesome.
but one at our site. And then you can, just book it. And then everything is operated from your phone. You don't, have any keys or anything like that. So you have to have a smartphone. So what we're going to be figuring out is how to make sure that people who are part of the Stoudemire, first of all, can become members as they become members of the Stoudemire.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is that we're going to work with a cohort of people who don't have cars and provide them with monthly stipends to use the car share to try to evaluate how access to the car share, because I honestly believe that car share should be integrated into public transportation systems, that people need buses, sometimes people need van rides, but sometimes people just need a car, especially in a community like ours. And it's been tested in Albany, New York. They've got that. They're not in places like ours.
Yeah.
We now have 1,800 members. And so
wow.
when you have
that many members,
of the Stoudemire, because we want to make sure it gets used. So when I got to work today, one was gone. I was really excited about that, and I have the other one, so you have to wait because we only have 2 vehicles right now. But there's also a grant out there to get many more vehicles coming into our state and at ECN. So, stop
Congratulations,
by.
Congratulations.
That's
Congratulations.
And
Right to visit and make it
community
plain.
building.
I love that.
Let me say this. For anybody who's afraid of and doesn't like electric vehicles, the ride was smooth.
Really?
It was easy. I accelerated just like I would in my car. A lot of propaganda has been put out there to make people fear electrification, and it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But it's a great ride.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you and the entire staff at ECN. Charity, congratulations. You have a lot going on. We're going to see you at recess sometime this weekend and see you on that draft stage. We're going to be right back with more Authentically Detroit. We got Shannon Crowder coming up.
Founded in 2021, the Stoudemire is a membership-based community recreation and wellness center centrally located on the east side of Detroit. Membership in the Stoudemire is available on a sliding scale for up to $20 per year or 20 hours of volunteer time. The Stoudemire offers art, dance, and fitness classes, community meetings and events, resource fairs, pop-up events, the Neighborhood Tech Hub, and more. Members who are residents of the East Side have access to exclusive services in the Wellness Network. Join today and live well, play well, be well. Visit ecndetroit.org.
Bridge Detroit is your news and engagement platform that is telling the stories of Detroiters rooted by community priorities. Started in 2020 by Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Stephen Henderson, the newsroom has already established its footing as the go-to source for hyper-local perspectives that ask the hard questions, brings accountability, and searches out real solutions. It's free to become a member of this award-winning news organization. Visit bridgedetroit.com today to sign up to receive the news delivered right to your inbox. Bridge Detroit, by Detroiters, for Detroiters.
All right, y'all, welcome back to Authentically Detroit. We are sitting here with Shannon and Asia Crowder. Shannon is a former NFL linebacker for the Miami Dolphins and is the current host of the Emmy-nominated Pivot podcast. And he's doing a whole lot of stuff, and he's here in Detroit for Draft Week. Shannon and Asia, welcome to Authentically Detroit.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Detroit's surprising to me. It's awesome.
In
Detroit's
what way?
something special. Because you get the reputation of it. You know, clutch your purse when you walk around the corner. You can't be there. Man, we got to Detroit. People are so nice. People are so pleasant. It's a black city. Yeah. So I'm from Atlanta. So, the black, having a black city. But I would say Detroit is a more pleasant Atlanta with the people. They got that. People just talk. Everyone talks to you. Everyone speaks. Get on the elevator. Get off the elevator. Hold the door for you. And it was quite surprising how nice the people are, how pleasant everybody is around here.
We are really like an up south city. Like a lot of us came from Georgia, from Mississippi, from Alabama. We brought that southern charm, and it continues to permeate throughout the generations. Because Mama taught me, Granny taught me, don't you walk in no room and you don't say nothing to nobody.
When you don't, people don't like you here. But, and Detroit is up south. I'm going to tell you, the east side of Detroit,
legit.
That's real up south.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm born west side. I moved to the east side. I was like, wow,
You're
these
welcome.
people are nice. Well, and I've been here, running a nonprofit East Side Community Network because I love the east side, love the entire city,
right,
and love our people too, right? So I love the diaspora in the United States and across the world because there's something about us that connects.
Yeah.
And
you
came here
too. I went to Howard, and so that was my first experience in a black city coming from Miami. I'm born and raised in Miami, and I do feel like this is a friendlier version almost of DC. But what opened my eyes, what I thought was so unique about DC was all the businesses and the business owners, black business owners. I had never experienced that in Miami with it being such a melting pot of immigrants, Cubans, South Americans. So I thought that was really neat coming here. So I feel like y'all have best of both worlds because there's a lot of business owners here, entrepreneurs, and you have like that South draw where you're all so friendly. So it's really cool.
Yeah, so you all had a chance to hang out with the Metro Detroit Black Business Alliance, I understand. Our friend and, alternate host Charity Dean said that she met you.
Yes.
Another friend, Eric Thomas, said that he met you yesterday. Guy with the ponytail. I don't know if you remember him, but he had the ponytail.
Yeah. He's funny.
Very funny.
He's funny.
And so I opened up
Why
Facebook.
does everybody identify Eric, the dude with the ponytail?
If Eric ever cuts his hair, nobody will know him, okay? But I woke up and I opened up Facebook, and I saw that you had called Drake out over flirting with your wife.
Snap.
And like I told you, I said, Drake has good taste, at least.
We have things to talk about.
Yeah.
Shannon, is it on site when you see Drake?
No, man, no. I'm old now. I ain't got about 3 more fights left in me. We have a beautiful daughter. She got green eyes. I'm saving my fights for her boyfriend.
Reenacting the bad boy scene.
Yeah. But it was surprising because the girls were up front dancing in the suite we were in, and with the dudes back there about, we at the bar talking mess. Yeah. And then everybody just starts yelling, Channing, Drake's trying to holler at Asia. So when I walk up, they already had the cameras ready. So when I walk up and, I got the face, I'm looking like, what happened? And that's when they caught me on the camera with the big meme face. So now I'm
now
a meme.
You're a meme.
Last night where were we at last night?
At the Westin.
We were at the Westin with all the draft picks coming back. And then those a young kid. You know, they're 20, 21, so they're really into their social media. So all of them coming up talking about, yeah, man, look at this meme. Yeah, man, look at this. And all the little memes hit me. So it was funny, but it went, I don't know how many, 50 million views or something.
Listen, that green was fire, though, right?
Thank you.
That green was fire. She had a green hat. Talk about the outfit, because I know
nobody wants somebody that nobody else wants.
Exactly. That's occupational hazard, right?
Let's go.
We were actually coming from a charity event and saw some friends there, and they're like, you going to the Drake concert afterwards? And I was like, well, how my babysitter is set up, we really just got about an hour more and a half, but our babysitter's cool. We called her, and she was like, yeah, go to the Drake concert, have fun. And it had been a minute since we've been out. I mean, he's been on the road so much, working so much with The Pivot. I mean, they just got nominated for the Emmy. So he's been gone. Yes, clap it up, clap it up.
Thank you.
They've been, I mean, it's been a huge sacrifice for our family, just how much they're running. And so this was our first time out, maybe in like 3 weeks, just him and I, like on a date night. And so they said, Drake. I was like, oh, and y'all got suite level tickets? Let's do it. And so that's kind of how it came about. And I'm a music head. I love all types of music. I can go metal to rock to
country,
Drake to R&B. Like I like old school. I like everything. And so he was actually like, the concert was maybe going for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he was playing some of his old stuff. And the song was like jungle, but it's like real mellow. And so I was just kind of up recording, because I record for him. And he was in a little bird cage, like coming closer to the suite level. And then that's when he made the comment. And all the girls in the suite were like, oh my God, Aisha, he's talking to you. And I guess their husbands went back and got Channing. I just still happen to have my phone recording. And he's just so funny.
He is hilarious.
Channing is just, he'll make anything funny. I think that's my favorite part about him, is that we always laugh. And he's just naturally funny. I think he gets it from his father. His father's
that's
funny.
One of my favorite questions to ask anybody that I interview is like, who raised you?
Oh, my mom raised me mostly. Mom and dad got divorced when I was 9.
Yeah.
And she raised me. But it was like, single mother with 3 kids. So like I was the kid, you struggling. We living in Decatur in Atlanta, which is we call the hood, quote unquote. And I would always try to make everybody laugh.
Yeah.
I was always a little silly kid trying to make people laugh, because you don't know what people are going through. Yeah. And that was as a kid, even coming out the womb, I just wanted to be, I wanted to I didn't know at the time, but I want to brighten any room I'm in. So wherever I walk in, like I'll always like talk to everybody, mess around, make fun of something, do something silly so that somebody smiles. So now with the platforms I have, walking through Detroit, I walk around the corner. Where was that? Woodward?
Yeah.
We're just walking down to go get some coffee in the morning. I walk around the corner and a 50-year-old man will see me and just smile, because he's anticipating me to be funny, because he's seen me on the podcast, he's seen me in different places, and that makes me feel good. It's like when people hear my name or see my face, they automatically smile, and that's a great feeling where even if you know me and never talk to me, if you see me, it's about to be a good time.
Is that a strange thing for you? Because our podcast is much smaller than yours. But people listen to our podcast and they know me, and it's very strange for me because I didn't play football. I'm not famous. I didn't do anything like that. And people are like, hey, I know you from Authentically Detroit.
Recognize, yeah.
Cool.
And they like me because, of Authentic. And it's weird for me. Is it strange for you to have
people
famous
all
over?
Long time.
Or yes, you've been famous for a long time. Because you've been famous since high school.
Yeah.
Talk about high school.
Ooh, yeah. I would say, and I got to UF. Well, in Atlanta has a big, it's a big football city, especially for high school. So we got Super 11. So it's the best 11 players in Metro Atlanta. So I was on Super 11, I think junior and senior year. So people knew me from that, but a high school fame, and then going D1, and then becoming an All-American at Florida, and that's when the fame that's when I noticed it. When you're just randomly in a city, and they'll be like, you're that Florida linebacker, aren't you? But I'm 18, and how does somebody in San Diego know who I am? Yeah. So that was 18. I'm 40 now, so it's been 20 plus years. So to answer your question, it's life now. Like I go to Publix, she won't even go to the grocery store with me because I'll be in Publix 3 hours talking to people.
And he want to talk.
At 40 years old, though, you've lived so many lives, right? And you're here in Detroit, and it's draft week, and you were drafted, right?
Yeah.
Talk about experiencing it on the other side again, and what you felt like back in the day. Like, can you identify with the youngins, right? I mean, they had Louis shades on, they excited, an exciting time for the families.
Yeah. It's a good time. My draft, I go back to mine. Mine wasn't as joyous because back then there was 3 rounds on the first day. and I was projected a first rounder, and I didn't go into the third round. So the draft started at noon. I didn't get drafted till like 8:30 at night. So I'm sitting there stressed out for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going first round. I got $1 million credit line. I was probably $400,000 in the hole before the draft.
So how does that happen? Talk about how that happens. How you have $1 million credit line because people anticipated you being drafted so high.
Yeah, you can go to a bank and show them the paperwork. A dumb financial guy at the time. I got smarter since then. But yeah, they say, hey, they'll show them projected first round. The 32nd pick of the first round last year got $8 million contract, so his future earnings are $8 million. Can you give him a credit line? I'm 21 years old and had $1 million credit line where I could call a lady and be like, hey, I need $30,000. Open my phone, it's $30,000 in my account.
Now, what year was that when you?
This is 05. I declared 05, January 2nd, 05 I declared, and I got drafted May 05.
Now, was that the same time as Braylon Edwards was drafted
Braylon.
the same year?
We were with Braylon last night.
Okay, so Braylon's dad was my kid's track coach.
That's cool.
And we were in New Orleans, and I just remember him having these conversations and the business and everything like that. And everything was really serious, like towards the end of that, because you're trying to figure out what's next.
Yeah. It's tough, but I tell people all the time, I talk to guys, I do symposiums for young players, I talk to college guys, I talk to first-year NFL guys, but it's just something when you give a young man that never had nothing $1 million+ he gonna go crazy.
I mean, but his whole family went crazy though, right? Because I'm not trying to talk, but it's like the whole family.
Telling Braylon's business.
I'm not even trying to in that way, but the whole family is waiting to see what's going to happen, right? Because it's going to make. It's going to make a material difference on the lives of cousins, sisters, aunts, uncles.
Of it.
People talk about what you do if you won the lottery. Would you tell people? But when you are drafted, it's in public. Everybody knows where you are.
It's so crazy. I'm on TV here in the city, right? My I get random calls from my family. My family think I'm like a multimillionaire because I'm on television.
We keep waiting for them to hire him outright, right? So it's like he's so good on TV, live on the D. He's so good.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. We had a letter writing campaign at one time
shut
saying
it down
because my future was riding on him.
I have a job,
but my future was riding on you being on live on the D, right? Because now I get TV. No, it's a big thing. So then you end up drafted third, which is
round.
Definitely not what you thought was going to happen.
No.
Less money to start out.
Yes, a lot less money. Less than half, probably a quarter of the money I thought I was going to get. But even with that, thought I was getting $10 million, end up getting $3 million. But when you get that money, to your point, you're automatically the patriarch of the family because you financially can support people. So you're not mature enough. You shouldn't give nobody advice.
The patriarch of your father.
I just kept getting bigger when people stopped growing. I could run a 4.5 at 240. That's why I have this money. I don't know about life, but automatically now that you're on this pedestal with everybody around you because you're a millionaire, and I think that's why a lot of guys fail is because they don't know how to run a family. They just have money. Money doesn't make you intelligent. Money makes you rich.
So now you started off third round. So what happened after that? Did you
How did you figure it
outperform
out?
their expectations?
Yeah, I got a second contract, which caught us back up.
All right. And you're just a little tiny bit smarter at that point, right?
Yeah,
so now you
so
got
much
more
wisdom.
money and not much more wisdom.
I honestly said that I think God knew that he couldn't give me, at 21, he couldn't give me $30 million.
Okay.
He couldn't give me money like that because I went crazy with $3 million. Yeah, I bought
You already spent about $400,000 before you even got the contract, right?
$400,000. I had a $100,000 car that was 21 years old. I got a 1983 Monte Carlo SS.
What did you wear to the draft?
Put $100,000. I didn't go to the draft. I wouldn't go. If my son plays ball now, I would. If he asked me, I'd be like, don't go to the draft. Even the guys last night, like as they were coming back to the hotel, guys that went second, fifth, eighth. I was like, man, how was the draft? Man, it's stressful, bro.
It's exhausting.
Because the world is sitting there staring at you.
It's exhausting.
Well,
Sitting there,
U of M's quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, I'm not going to the draft. And people are mad at him for not going. They're like, how dare you not come to this place with 275,000 people waiting to see what's going to happen.
We talk about the mental health thing. Like, he
was like, I'm staying home with family.
For people's mental health, I would never advise a player to come to the draft.
I got a question for you. What do you make of the Lions and the Lions pick last night getting Terry on?
Oh, that man can play ball.
Yeah.
Y'all got y'all one.
Yeah.
Because I'm an SEC guy.
Yeah.
So I don't watch him destroy people. That he can. He's a Pro Bowl talent. He can play ball.
He
man.
took the microphone. Nobody was expecting that. Homeboy took the mic.
So he's already in Detroit. All he needs is some bumps and he can go.
He doesn't lack confidence now. Because I know I played against Dan Campbell in 2007 here on Thanksgiving.
When he was playing.
When he was playing.
Still playing.
I covered him when he was the Dolphins interim coach. Kelvin Shepard, the linebacker coach. I know like 5 coaches on the Lions staff because of Dan Campbell. So yeah, y'all got Dan and this coaching staff has turned around the Lions. This is gonna be something special, man. I'm telling y'all. And Jameer Gibbs, I can go on St. Brown. Y'all got something. And people, I think Jared Goff is one of the most disrespected quarterbacks in the NFL.
Oh, why you say that?
He can play, but nobody gives him credit.
Well, they do now, though, right?
They're
starting to.
Yeah.
Because when he came, the most disrespected. I don't know. Our disrespected, what was his name? The one who left.
Matt Stafford?
Matt Stafford. Yeah. Matt Stafford could hit every record. He was just never loved here. He had to go somewhere else to get the love. Jared, because, he got all the stats, but he wasn't winning games consistently.
Yeah.
And it's not all his fault, because I know quarterbacks don't win games all by themselves, and you need coaches and other people in the team. But, yeah, I think Jared Goff, we love him.
Yeah.
In Detroit,
we do.
We love Jared Goff. He made.
And so we're used to folks not loving our people, though. Nationally,
bad boys.
They could the bad boy. I mean,
Yeah.
In fact, we like them better if nobody loves them, because that means they're ours.
They're ours.
Diamond in the rough.
Again, we got to work for a living in Detroit. I want to ask you about the pivot. Asia, you talked a little bit about you talked a little bit about the grueling schedule and you guys not having a lot of time. But the pivot is a hit. It is Emmy nominated, and on there, you all, go back and forth around just life advice, sports, fun. You are absolutely hilarious.
Appreciate you.
On the pivot. Talk a little bit about, this other life that you have created for yourself on the Pivot podcast and this medium that you all are dominating. Y'all are dominating this.
Appreciate you,
and
brother.
you interview Gayle King. I got a crush on Gayle King. I know she's single. You need to tell. Donna knows this. You need to tell Gayle King I said, what's up?
Don't tell her that.
She actually asked, do I have a brother on the show?
His name is Orlando.
Connect the dots.
I'll hook you up. Yeah, man, it actually came through COVID, and it's crazy how it was created, because we were on another podcast first. But that podcast started because we were sitting at a party and we were talking about we had to transition our Airbnb. My wife is a real estate genius, so we do the Airbnb stuff and all that long-term rentals. But Airbnb shut down with COVID. You couldn't do the short-term rental. They didn't want people traveling. So we were just sitting there talking about what we're going to do, and it was 4 black men, 4 ex-players, but all, 4 black men, and we're talking about how we're going to transition and try to do the real estate things. And there's other fathers that didn't play ball that were just enamored with these 4 big black men really breaking down the real estate of South Florida. And it was like, you should have recorded that conversation. That's amazing.
Wow.
Because they're surprised. I always say the platform set up simply because people aren't used to strong black males sitting around that can debate, argue, whatever, and it's no malice behind it. Hey, let's agree to disagree. We good. And that's the thing is where, so we started that one, and then we got off that podcast, myself, Fred Taylor. I called Ryan, because now you showed me the platform. You showed me the blueprint. I called Ryan. We got together, shot, 2022, January 18th. And then now, it's 2.5 years later, and it's probably I think it's a top 3 podcast in the world or something
and
like that.
That's one of our, dreams. So how did you get that to be so? Was it just that people loved listening, or did you have people who were helping to market and expose other people to your podcast?
I think we had a built-in advantage because we already had fan bases. So I had my personal fan base. Ryan Clark had his. Fred has his. We have so many friends that played ball that have big platforms. Ryan's on ESPN. I've had a radio show for 14 years in South Florida.
Okay.
Fred owns a soccer team in Jacksonville. So it's, we have a.
You leveraged all of your personal brands and brought them together.
Getting the names in. Get the interview.
Then DMing people, talking to people. We already have friends. So, like, anybody in Miami loves Udonis Haslam. And Udonis and our wives are friends. Like, we hang out. So I'd be like, UD, man, call Shaq. This,
that's and that's literally how it works, because we literally do the same thing, and it's iterative. It's always, okay, what's next? What are we doing? Asia, you talked about the success of the podcast, but nobody really talks about the other side. Sort of peel back that layer for us. You said you ain't seen your boo, and y'all ended up at Drake, and Drake, what happened?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. I mean, I think when you're doing something different, something big, it takes what it takes. So, in the beginning, they were traveling out to the guests. They would meet the guests in their home. They would meet the guests at their job. Wherever and however the guest was comfortable, that's where they would show up to and make it happen with their team. And so that's how the grind started, and it's just kind of stayed on that same path. But I think once they got more popular, they start booking more and more and more. They started off once a week, and then it went to twice a week. So their show was Tuesdays and Fridays. And then I remember at one point they were doing the draft. You guys were coming out to the draft. They'd be out there all week. So we just found our new normal with our kids, because we have 3 children, 12, 11, and 3. Yes, we're in the thick of it.
Y'all busy.
We're in the thick of it. So having them travel with us, or him taking longer weekends just to, so we're trying to find our way to make it work for sure. But it's been cool, though, because he has a newfound fame. I love seeing him in this light. Channing has always been a great star. Like, even when he was with the Dolphins, he would be the last person signing autographs, last person taking pictures. So I think that
was raised right.
Yeah, he's always been that guy in that way.
I was listening to your podcast this morning again with Devon Ellis, and he talked about how being an entertainer was his plan A, and football was his plan B. But he did football before he became an entertainer. For you, it seems like football was your plan A, but that entertainer part of you was always there as well. Is that true?
100%. It's 100%. I just, when I played, like, the media was fun to me. Like, how after the game, the media walks in and the guys are, like, trying to rush out or put their head down. I'm standing up. Hey, come on. Y'all want to talk to me? Bring the cameras. Come talk to me. It's just, like I said, just a natural entertainer, but also, to lighten people's day.
Yeah.
Like, I always enjoy it to this day. So, like, we were joking before about going in Publix, but if I'm walking through Publix and somebody sees me, I'll talk to a random person for 15 minutes.
He's a social butterfly.
Like,
he wants to chat. He wants. If you want to talk, you found the right one, because he want to talk to you.
They'd be like, "Hey, my uncle talks." I say, "Okay, now we got a sparring partner."
And now you talk on stage.
Yeah,
so
I could go, but I was going to say that 10 minutes that I take out of my day for the random guy at Publix
makes their life.
He's going to tell his kids. He's calling his uncles. He's like, it made his week. Well, it was only 8 minutes out of my day that made this guy's week, and that's why I can't blow anybody off. I can't just give him the deuce and walk away. Hey, how you doing, Channing? What's up, brother? What's your name? She knows I don't care what his name is, but he loves that I've embraced him like that, and it's gonna mean way more to him than that 8 minutes out of my life.
So sometimes people transition that then to politics.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about politics as a next move, or are you happy where you are?
I'm happy in the media. Yeah, politics, man. It's funny talking. Like, we'll be there, and I'll be the center of attention, and I'll be holding court in the room, and then somebody brings up, hey man, this this president,
that's how we get you
this
to be
president, why I'd be like, yeah, man, let me go grab a drink. I don't even like talking politics because it's so divisive. It's so nasty.
Well, but not politics, but people, right?
Yes.
And I think the problem is that politics has become the domain, and maybe it's always been for politicians.
Yeah.
But people need people who are making decisions on our behalf, and the challenge is the politicians are doing that, not people who care about the other people. So when I hear you talk about making people feel good and loving people, I keep thinking we need people elected to office who just care about the people. And I know you can't get away from the politics, but it was just something that went through my mind.
No. I'm the vice president of my HOA.
Yeah, see?
Good. Talk to us about how you've parlayed now into a stand-up career. I mean, you on stage, and I can see it, right? You had a show here in Detroit. Talk a little bit about that.
Just always having jokes, always having stories, always just trying to lighten people's lives. And then my wife, she told me, she wrote me a set. Actually, she wrote my first set.
So okay, you do everything.
I'm a little ghostwriter.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, she bad.
Real estate, ghostwriter. Okay.
And so you all are like partners, business partners, best friends, and husband and wife, right?
Yes.
And the business partner part is pretty new. We've been, doing our other things all this time, but the business partner part is cool, and I like it. I think that it's the natural progression, because now I don't know if we started like this, how it would be now, but I've enjoyed every stage of our marriage, like so far. So it's been cool.
Yeah. And then what's that? Oh yeah, she wrote my first set.
Yeah.
And so she was kind of encouraging me. She was like, you got to try it. Then I know Chris Spencer, the Real Husband of Hollywood.
Yeah.
We did a roast together 8 years ago, and at that moment he told me, and I ignored him. She was telling me for years. Then I got cool. Then I'm cool with Lil Duval, so we're about to mess around. Lil Duval was like, bro, you should jump on stage. Desi Banks.
I love Desi, man.
Desi's funny.
Desi is hilarious.
So Funny Marco's there. So just like the Kevin Hart episode, or anytime we have somebody funny on the show, anytime I'm around somebody funny, it's almost like a sparring session. So if I'm around a comedian, I'm gonna have some jokes to throw off of you, and all comedians are gonna throw jokes back off of you, and now it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So me and Desi were doing that at an LA Charger game. It was like 4 or 5 days after she wrote my set.
Yeah.
And then Desi pulled me.
I didn't really write the set. The set was really just his stories that I had heard over time that to me were his funniest stories.
So you just organized the
I just
set.
streamlined it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
because he was like, I'm not really that funny. I'm like, yes, you are.
Man, you were
Yes,
hilarious.
And these are them. And so he was like, you know what? Maybe you're right. But that was years in the making.
Yeah.
So it's like now just kind of coming to fruition. But I mean, he's been funny all this time, and I've been telling him. And Chris Spencer, that was the big one. I was like, that's Chris Spencer.
That's Chris Spencer.
I mean, he's a director. I mean, he's in Hollywood.
And been around for a long time.
A long time.
Longevity.
He's been in Black Hollywood forever. So
it's
it meant something.
It's a different being funny, and it seems to me as though your humor, and I have not really heard all of your comedy, but it seems as though you have the way of, there's a humaneness to your humor. You make people laugh, but you're not necessarily laughing at people.
No, 95% is laughing at me.
I think that there's something really special about that kind of comedian
okay.
in today's, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times I see a lot of people having issues with a lot of comedians who are just picking fun at this group or that group or whatever. But your ability to laugh at yourself, I think, is something that makes you special and stand out.
Thank you so much. And that's I try to do that because even that one guy, so one of my shows, I have a joke about Jay-Z being ugly. So I start talking about that, and I'm like, hey, all the ugly dudes, raise your hand. And so everybody's laughing. I'm like, no, nobody's going to raise their hand when you say ugly dudes, raise your hand. So then I picked out a dude that I actually knew. And I was like, hey, plaid shirt, don't lie to yourself. And everybody's laughing, but he's stone-faced. And I'm like, and I knew him. So I'm like, but you know me, you know my personality. You know I'm not picking on you. Like, I'm just using you just the plaid shirt, whatever. And I see him, and 450 people, 449 were laughing, but that one dude wasn't laughing, and I took that out of the set because just watching him not laugh, like, no, I want everybody to have a good time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but as soon as you turn and say something about yourself, or I do have nastier jokes, but they're always about me.
Right.
And so that's when you.
I know you
laugh.
just started watching The Pivot. This man nasty. Okay, he's gross. It's hilarious though. You'll get into it. It's addictive.
I will. But I'm just saying that I think that I can always deal with people laughing at themselves. I just think that that's a beautiful thing, and I think if you laugh at yourself, then other people feel free to laugh at themselves, and that's a good thing, right? Because that's where we're best, is when we're actually being introspective and looking at the fact that we're not perfect. I have another question though. You know what it was like for you when you got drafted, going back to the draft. Some of these young guys, like, is this Terrion? I didn't watch the draft last night, obviously. I was working. But Terrion, after he got drafted, he's in for a big surprise when it comes to, dealing with money, dealing with fame, dealing with cameras, dealing with failure. You're new in the league and you're not as good as you thought you were because you have to now prove yourself on a whole other level, and that is at the pro level. Do you ever go back and mentor some of these young guys to help them make that, just prepare them for what's ahead?
Oh, yeah. I talk to guys. The Dolphins used to bring me in. I think I'm going this year, actually. They bring you in and just let you talk to them. So I tell you that it's two separate things. It's off the field and on the field. Mm-hmm. If you can play on the field, you can play on the field. If you're terrible, you're just terrible. Like you're playing against grown men now. You're in high school, you're against high schoolers. College, you're against college guys. Now you're 21, you're playing against guys 34 years old, has been in the league 13 years. Like, you're playing the best of the best. So on the field, if you can play, you can play. If you can't, you can't. It's the off the field that guys need help with. It's like I said, when I got to the Dolphins, they gave me, I walk in, I work out for 2 weeks, they give me $788,000 check. I'm 21. I've never had more than $2,000 in my account, and they give me a check for $800,000. That changes people. That's like it. You have to figure out how to navigate that part of life. I have a mortgage. I had to buy a house. I had to get car insurance. I drove my mom's car in college. Like, it's life that guys can't figure out. The women are going to change. I tell the story when I was going in the bank in South Florida without that $800,000. The little the bank teller didn't even look at me. She ignored me every time I'd be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Just take my little money. I walk in with $800,000 check. Her whole personality changed. Hey, how are you doing, Red?
Hey, Mr. Crowder.
Hey, Mr. Crowder. So you got to navigate all of that stuff too. So the on the field is on the field. Coaching and workout, you got to have work ethic. But the off the field, I think, is what gets a lot of guys, and I do try to help young guys understanding this change of life.
But they got to be open to that, right? They got to pull you to the side and say, yo, you know what I mean? Because you're talking to the group, but I'm always interested after the group discussion, who comes up to me afterward and is like, yo, I really need help with this.
Christian Wilkins, he was one of the guys, Tyndall. So to your point, because they bring in the whole draft class, but also free agents. Mm-hmm. So you'll talk, I talk about the money. I talk about how you have to make $1.56 to spend $1. Like, I'll really break it down simply to what this life is. Mm-hmm. And out of 30 guys, it'll be like 3 of them afterwards come up to me and be like, man, appreciate it, OG.
That's it.
And it's just like when you motivational speakers, they say it all the time. Mm-hmm. It's like, I can't get the whole room. Some people aren't ready to receive this message.
Right.
I'm going to get a couple of them, though.
And sometimes they're not ready to receive it now, and they'll receive it later. Sometimes something will happen to them and they'll reflect back on what you planted in them that time ago, right?
Jerome Baker, he was with the Dolphins for a while. Jerome Baker came up to me and, like, to your point, did the symposium, whatever year it was 2 years later. He came up. He was like, OG, you was 100% correct. He was like, I ignored you when you talked about it. Because, like, I remember you speaking about all these points. And I dapped him up, and I was like, yeah, bro, I'm just here for y'all. I don't need nothing from you. I'm good, but I'm here for trying to help y'all boys out. But to your point, a lot of people might get it later on, and I love when people come back and say, like, hey, you were right. I appreciate it because I was too young to receive the message.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just that they get the message. Now, I touched on this a minute ago, but it's so exciting to me because when you look at somebody who's at your level, having a wife right there with them is a kind of special thing.
I know. Has this happened
and
before? Have y'all been interviewed together before? Is this an exclusive?
Yeah, I like to stay to the side.
But wait,
he's the star.
But listen, behind every strong man, there's got to be a woman who can hang and do whatever because it's hard, right? He's traveling all over. Yeah. He's a superstar, and yet you're together, and I think that's beautiful. And it seems like a lot of people don't master it off the field, but you guys have been together for a while. How did you meet, and how did this happen?
Oh,
the love story.
Yeah, I was actually working at WEDR down in Miami at the time. It's the urban station. Mm-hmm. And I came to a work event. He was with a friend at the work event. And he was so, like, outspoken when we first met. He was like, what's your name? Where are you from? Where are you going? Sit with me. Come here. Like, he was, like, hardcore. I was like, whoa.
Full court press.
Oh, my goodness. I was like, does he like, what's happening? Is he serious? Like, is he playing with me? I couldn't figure him out. And as the night went on, I mean, surely was a full court press. I mean, he didn't stop. But he was also very much so a gentleman, too. Like, he walked me to my car. I had never had someone do that before. I'm born and raised in Miami from a single mom. And at the time, I was living with my grandparents. My mom was in Orlando. And I remember dating before him. And when I would give my address, guys would not come pick me up. They're like, no, just you gotta pick me out.
Oh, snap.
And that was like a different time where, I mean, people were like robbing people in that area. So they had heard about what the area was about. It was like, oh, yeah, I know I said I was going to pick you up, but just meet me, just meet me there. I'll see you in a little bit. Something came up. And I had got that like twice. And I remember, so when I met him, I was like, oh, no, I'll meet you out. I was trying to like avoid him even like putting my address in. And he was adamant. He was like, no, I'm picking you up. And I was like, are you sure? And so I gave him the address and he showed up. And it wasn't until like maybe like 5 dates later, or maybe we were boyfriend, girlfriend at that time. I was like, you didn't have a problem like coming to pick me up in Opa-lawka? He was like, no, I had my fire on me.
Right. And this man
It
is
was nothing. I was like, ooh,
6
sexy. I like that. I like that. He put his gun right quick, too. He was like, I had my fire on me. It was cool. I was like, ooh, that's a man. I like that. Yes.
But he's always talking about you too, right?
Yeah.
If anybody who watches The Pivot, we know about his children, we know about his amazing wife, and so it's really cool to see you two together. Talk to us about this seasoning you got. Like, what's going on? This is a new venture. Haven't heard of it.
Before that, I say about us, but besides, I've been corrected by this by some very strong women in the world. It's not behind every good man's a good woman. It's beside every good man's a good woman. And I say it where I tell young dudes, just like I tell the young guys, I say, get you a co-pilot that can fly the plane if something's wrong with you.
That's what's up.
Don't get a passenger.
Okay. Do we have a standing ovation here?
Don't.
Yes.
Andrew ain't no passenger.
Don't get nobody sitting in 33F now. You got to get somebody up there that knows the controls, because, man, I know some dudes that if let's say they go in a coma, nothing can happen anymore in their life. Everything's gonna crumble. Yeah. If something happens, knock on wood, nothing happen. But if something happens to me, Asia can run this thing, probably fly it better than I'm flying.
She writes your jokes for you, so we know she can do stuff, right?
She
puts your sets together, and that's a beautiful thing. And it just makes me think it has to go back to your mother, right? Mm-hmm. Because when a man has that kind of positive relationship with his mother, a lot of times it happens with the wife. Is that true, or is this one of those things where you found somebody who's very different from your mom?
Very different from my mom, because my mom was a single mom. Didn't get along with my dad.
It was three
actually angry. 3 of us living in the hood, had to work 6 days a week and all. So I wouldn't say that, but I would say that how she was raised. That's who it is. I think it's honestly, it's more of the woman's female
energy.
Because I was not even her mother, because she was around. I would say it's her grandma. She acts very much like her grandmother. And the reason that I knew, like when I met her, her grandparents, when I'm sitting in the house talking to grandparents, she'd be at work and I'd go over her grandparents' house and just be chilling at the house talking to them, because I loved them. They was hard workers. He was in the military. She worked her whole life at Sears. And they were just cool people. So I'm like, you're around this
grandmother
woman.
Retired from Sears.
So you fell in love with her family.
I fell in love with her grandparents, to be honest.
And they loved him too.
Yeah.
They loved him too. So if anything, what was also kind of funny in the beginning of our relationship, because we're navigating this NFL world, and I felt like, they have such a bad reputation. Do I want to be in this world? Like, do I want this? Trying to figure out, because I went to Howard. I'm used to just kind of 2 people coming together and you're building something. Yeah. But here, I'm meeting you and you're already built, and I'm like doing what I'm doing, but we're not really working together. I think I had this thought in my mind, like the Huxtables, like we're doing this together. I don't know. It was just at that time, this seemed very intimidating. This life seemed very intimidating. And because he spent so much time with my grandparents, I mean, they were championing him even in times when I was having doubts. They just loved him, and he loved them too. So he would come over and mow the lawn and sit on the back porch with my grandfather.
I'm taking notes.
Barbecue. I mean, he was barbecuing out there with him. My grandfather used to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, getting out on the grill, and he would meet him right back there. And they were just like hanging out.
I know this about football, but Black love stories are something else. Yeah. It's so good to hear them and to celebrate them, and especially in an athlete, because you all get really bad rep. And sometimes not undeserved, right? Because sometimes it's not undeserved. Because a lot of women are like, no, not that lifestyle is not for me. But you guys have seemed to create something really special. I'm really happy to celebrate that.
We met in 2009. January 09, but I got drafted 05, so I was in Miami partying for 4 years. Like, yeah, I'm no angel. They don't call me.
He was in the club. Now they knew his name in the club. He was the mayor of Club Head.
Yeah, no one's ever called me Deacon Crowder. When we our first, I don't know when the time we talked about this, but our first date, I brought my friend with me.
Yes.
T, my best man at my wedding.
It was a throuple.
Who brings their best friend to a date, bro? I was taking notes. Now I gotta make some adjustments. Like, what in the world, man?
And she was so confused, and she didn't say it, but she, like you said, it was a new lifestyle or whatever that she jumped into. And so she didn't say nothing at that time, but later on she asked me, it might have been years later, she's like, why did you bring T to our first date? Because I hung out so much and partied so much that I knew everybody. So I'm like, I really liked her. Like, I wanted to impress her. I wanted to have a good dinner. I wanted to, have a good conversation. And I was so worried about other women like walking up, or people I knew walking up to the table the whole time we were there.
So he was your bodyguard.
So I brought him as my bodyguard, but she was so confused. Like, why is your friend sitting a table over from us? And as we were talking, I would see him walk off and like pick off people, and like pick off folks from talking to me, and he'd be like, "No, leave Channing alone." You know what I'm saying? Just chill out. So
man.
it was years later till she figured out why T was there at our first date.
I love to see it. Y'all need to get some property in the city. We need to see y'all more often. Crowder Powder.
Yes, Crowder Powder. It's the seasoning line. CrowderPowder.com, and we have 9 coming out. But I cook a lot, and
straight up,
he is the
cooks.
He is the cook of this
go.
relationship.
From Decatur. Okay, yeah, you probably could go.
Oh, country boy. And it's funny because y'all say the up south. What y'all say? Yeah,
up south.
Yeah. So country dudes can cook. When I got around, them different guys from California and New York and all, and that woman, that gender role thing of, oh, bro, you can cook. I eat, don't I?
Yeah.
How you like to eat and don't like to cook? It don't work out.
A fellow domesticated brother.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
with that.
Appreciate you. So I'm the cook of the family, and then I had all them seasons. You have 45 onion powder, garlic powder, cayenne, all that stuff, and I was doing it for years. And she was like, "Why don't you just figure out what you're putting on this stuff and put it in a thing?" Same thing, Asia's idea. She was like, "Figure out what you do and put it." So I met this like a seasoning Rain Man. That he was a Dolphin fan actually, which is God works in mysterious ways, and we took 7 months to get all the blends together, and we were sprinkling different stuff on chicken and seafood and tacos and all, and then he helped me put the blends together. Asia and the kids would taste it and be like, no, number 1's better than number 3. Number 3's better than number 7. And we narrowed it down to 9 blends that are going to come out over the next 18 months.
So are we going to put Laurie's aside and go with Crowder Powder?
Yes, we bought y'all some too.
Yes, y'all got this.
These are yours. Yeah.
So exactly what it is. So this is the all-purpose seasoning. Then the next is taco and seafood. And then there's lemon pepper and it's like a dry rub hot sauce, because a lot of people don't like soggy wings, so it's a dry rub hot sauce, which is delicious, one of my favorites. She doesn't like the spicy, so
I love spice.
Okay, so I had to push it back because she doesn't like all the spicy stuff.
So it's not too spicy.
It goes.
It goes.
It goes. It goes. So just putting blends together, different things, and it's really entrepreneurial. And our kids, we have the 12 and 11-year-old. They help us fulfill the orders off online orders. They help fulfill it. They see it. They do.
I love that.
So they see the entrepreneurial mindset. They see building something from nothing. So they were alive. They remember when there was no Crowder Powder didn't mean anything, and now they're saying a business gets started from nothing.
Let's go.
As it builds up. We're in
and let's get them on the shelves.
Yeah, we're already in one retail store, and then we have a meeting Monday. 2 meetings next week. So
Godspeed.
To get in there.
We have a new grocery store. What is it?
It's called Neighborhood Grocery.
No, not just Neighborhood Grocery.
On the
east side.
Detroit People's Food Co-op.
Detroit People's Food Co-op, and it's going to be right down where we're a brand new building. So hopefully when you come back, you can talk to the folks there about maybe having Crowder Powder.
Oh, we love that.
They were on the 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, they were announcing there because the store is opening in
May
about
1st.
Well,
Yep.
thank you. Orlando has all the dates.
I'm the journalist.
And the grand opening is May 18th.
Yeah.
I got that right?
Yeah.
Well, I love to send a bottle to the director there or whoever's.
Maliki Keeney.
Yeah. So I get the information from you, and that gives us a reason to come back sooner than later.
We need you to come back
Yeah.
because we need you to come see the East Side, the best side of the city of Detroit. Now that I'm an East Sider, and connect with more people. I mean, I think that you have a great story, a lot to tell, and people need to hear all the positive things that you're doing. And I think you're in real estate, right?
Yes.
So
I've been a realtor for 12 years down in Miami, and it's a beautiful thing. Your life changes once you own a home. You know, like now you have an asset, and now there's an avenue for you to, gain wealth. And love to help first-time homeowners. Love to buy that second, third house as you grow. You just got to get your foot in the game. That's the most important thing.
Well, Shannon, Asia, this was so much fun.
Yes.
Thank y'all so much for coming on Authentically
you.
Detroit.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, we
Until
enjoyed
next
it,
time.
man.
Until
Yes,
next
sir.
time, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Yep.